Mike Taylor Live is presented by Texas Cheer Liquor. And now, live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
Welcome in here. If you're watching us on the UB2Bs or you're listening from the future or on that Spotify or that iHeart or that Patreon or whatever it is. However you boys get in here, thank you for getting in here. It is a new work week on this Monday, the 8th of January in the year of our Lord and Savior Mary in the new year 2024. It is Taylor Live. How you boys doing? It is presented by Texas Cheer Liquor. It is Taylor live from Taylor Manor here in the greater San Antonio, Tejas area, and doing things and emanating our show from DJLG Studios is none other than DJLG. It is Knee Jerk Monday, and as we go on the air here, it is the 8th of January, and we've got to get this. We got to get this hair bit done, man. I'm starting to get into panic mode. Because what happens is when we started doing this show exclusively last year, sans the radio, we got a bunch of Thunderdomers that jumped in here and became subscribers to our show, and it plateaued. And so it's like, I need to grow this show. I need y'all to let the word out. I need to get my fucking hair cut. So does Lawrence. We are now 29 subscribers away from 3,000. And I am so sports horny that we have almost 3,000 subscribers, but I need to get to that 3,000 because, yay, it's a milestone. That's cool. I'm appreciative that so many of you like the gig, but we got to get this hair bit done. I am ready. I need this hair cut. My hair's starting to look like salad, and LG looks like a mutant with his scene he's got coming in right now. And Haircut 2K24 needs to commence. And so there is a grid that LG put together. We're sitting at 2,971 subscribers. So we're 29 away from haircuts in which I will roll with a mullet for an entire week. LG will roll with the Marbach Mop, a.k.a. the Marbach Miracle, a.k.a. the Edgar. He will have an Edgar for a week. I will have the Quinn Ewers Mike Gundy combination mop with my floppy ass hair, and that'll be a sight to behold. But we need to get to 3,000 subscribers in order to do that. So if you're watching this show, listening to this show, and you're not a subscriber, get your ass on there and subscribe. We're not going to beat you down with emails. This isn't like one of these other, and it sucks. That's a giant ass whip. All of the different things you get in your inbox every day from these things that you subscribe to one company and they ship your shit off to 4,000 other companies. Now you get all these people trying to get a hold of you. We don't do that. You subscribe to our show, you don't get bothered by us. Now, we'll let you know when we have a new show launched. you'll get a message, but we're not sharing your stuff with all of, with all these companies. We're just a little fledgling talk show. 29 away from Haircut 2K24. And it is the 8th of January as we come on today to do Knee Jerk Monday. Valentine's Day is on the 14th of February. And I've been threatened with no Valentine's Day if I have a mullet during that week. I almost feel like I shouldn't tell Thunderdome that because y'all won't subscribe in order to make that hard for me, knowing y'all.
You're going to make us lose subscribers. People are going
I know, right? People are going to unsubscribe just so I don't have the bit done by Valentine's. You bastards. Don't do that to me. I need to get my hair. I need to get the mullet done, spend my week with the mullet, and then get it cut before Valentine's Day, even if it's the 13th. Although it would be funny if we're sitting there on Super Bowl Sunday and our haircut looks like our haircuts are still cut. You leaving, baby? Come over and give me a kiss. This is the woman who threatened no Valentine's. Bye, girl. All right, so there she goes. So give me some subscribers, Holmes. My hair's. I still have a mullet that week. I ain't gonna get no chow. So we need subscribers so I can keep getting chow. So y'all get your asses in there. It's absolutely free. All right. We have so much to get to today. It's not even funny. We're very sportsy today. All kinds of sportsy here. We're going to begin with Cowboys. I got some thoughts on the Natty, which is tonight. I got some thoughts on Greg Popovich. I got some thoughts on the NFL bloodletting, some playoff. We got playoff week, some bitches. Playoff week has commenced. So you want to chat? Jump in there with the chat. Be part of the festivities. Get your take in. Give us a shout out, however you want to do it. Jump in there to the chat. We are always excited to hear from the people via the chat. We're always thrilled when you want to give us your money. That is good too. I need the subscribers. I need members. I need chon, and I need your money. So here's how you do that. You can go to the super chat, and you may give us a tip, $2 or whatever, or more. Give us $2 million. That'd be cool too. And we guarantee we'll read it. We get a lot of chat. So if you pay for it, we'll read it. That's the reason we ask you to pay, not only to keep my cigarette habit going, but to get your chat read. So here we go. It's playoff week. My brain's scattered today. There's so much going on, man. This is awesome. What a great sports time of the year we will find ourselves into here, because the Cowboys are in the playoffs and they have a home game. How about that, boys and girls? An actual Cowboy playoff home game. The Cowboys go into the land of Joe Biden last night, crushed the Commanders 38-10. They, in the process, clinched the East, clinched the number 2 seed, which guarantees them home games against everybody except the 49ers. If the Cowboys, God forbid, were to go to the conference championship game, if it's San Francisco, they'd have to go on the road. Otherwise, Cowboys, home games throughout. It'd be badass if San Francisco were to get upset, and then the Cowboys are guaranteed nothing but games at Jerry World, where they are 8-0 this year. All right, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. This team hadn't gone to the damn conference title game since I didn't have any crow's feet. I didn't have any gray hair the last time the Cowboys played in the conference championship game. So let's not get too far of ourselves, because would it shock any of us if the Packers go into Jerry World and win? Of course not. Of course not. Would it stun you if the Cowboys go to the conference championship game? No, they're a good football team. Would it stun you if the Packers beat their ass on Sunday? No, because they're the Cowboys and we're talking about the NFL. So it's going to be a great week. Can't wait. And we're going to do Overreact Sunday night from the Ringer. So let's get that out of the way here before we get into the game yesterday. I will be doing Cowboys Overreact presented by the Law Office of Orlando Kell this Sunday, playoff edition. And the Cowboys will take on Green Bay this Sunday at 3:30 at Jerry World. We'll be watching the game at the Ringer Pub on Jones Mossberger and Thousand Oaks. And as soon as the game is over, we will have a Cowboys-Packers playoff special. It is Cowboys Overreact from the Ringer this Sunday night. We'll get on the air at the earliest, 6:30, with the 3:30 kickoff. All the way these playoff games go, it could be closer to 7. But nonetheless, we'll be out there at the Ringer this week. So come on out there, hang out. do a deal with us and support us. Watch Cowboys, and we'll do Overreact live and in the flesh. The Eagles crapped to bed. The Cowboys still needed to win the game, though, because Detroit beat the shit out of the Vikings. And had the Cowboys somehow been upset yesterday, even though the Eagles got their ass kicked, Dallas would have been the 3 seed. So they still needed to win. Cowboys are down 10-7. And it's like, oh, my God. Brandon Aubrey has a field goal block. Geez. Dak has a fluky interception on a batted pass. Geez. And they're down 10-7. And it's like, wouldn't that be just so Cowboy? The Eagles are down 24-0. It would be so Cowboy if on the day that the Eagles get beat by the shitty New York Giants, Dallas still blows its chance to win the 2 seed and screws it up. But no, the Cowboys roar back, score 30-some-odd unanswered points, kick the former Redskins' asses, and take advantage of a terrible Washington team, take advantage of a Eagles team that was 10-1 at one point. And I think if you go back and pull the tape, you will find that somebody in this town who does a talk show every day, Mawa, I called the Eagles the worst 10-1 team I'd ever seen, which sounds hyperbolic on a talk show, but I was right. That Eagles team blows. They have a giant sports hernia in that organization. And they play the Bucs this week, and I'll be rooting hard for Austin's own Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But so the Cowboys are champs. They are pretty healthy going into this game. All things considered, having played 17 damn games in 18 weeks, they're pretty healthy going into this run because no one's healthy. You're not going to have 22 of your original starters. Dallas won't. They lost Trayvon Diggs in the first month of the season. But they're relatively healthy. They go in hot after annihilating the Washingtons after escaping against the Lions 2 weeks ago. They have the best wide receiver quarterback combo in the league right now, certainly the hottest, if not the best. The Dak Prescott CeeDee Lamb combination right now, it may not be the most talented, it may not be the best, but it's damn sure the hottest as CeeDee Lamb puts a bow on the greatest regular season that any Dallas Cowboy wide receiver has ever had. Michael Irvin, Drew Pearson, Bullet Bob Hayes, all of them combined, all of them together, never had an individual season. Dez, T.O., never had a season better. Now, I preface by saying regular season. Michael Irvin caught touchdowns in the fucking Super Bowl, so let's not get crazy. But it's the best regular season ever. Even with the 17th game, CD still had, in 16 games, the best statistical season any Cowboys ever had. Granted, the league has changed, but still, CD's going to be first-team All-Pro. I mentioned relatively healthy. Stephon Gilmore, diving for a ball, comes down super hard. I thought he broke his wrist the way he was acting when he got up. Turns out his shoulder popped out of socket, and they popped it back in. That ain't good, Bubba. Unfortunately, when your shoulder pops out, they can pop it right back in, but it's going to be sore as a feathermucker for a couple of weeks. He vows to play. The former Defensive Player of the Year, Stephon Gilmore, who the Cowboys traded geniusly for this year. Thank God they did with Diggs getting hurt. Gilmore vows to go on Sunday night. Swears he's playing. But at what percent? Hopefully he's not a liability out there, but he's going to get out there, and he's going to get out there and give it a go. It's the effing playoffs. Tyler Smith, Fort Worth's own Tyler Smith, he did not go. I got him mixed up last week with Tyron Smith. That's the most embarrassing thing I've done in months. I was coughing a little bit, had a few too many last week, and got him confused with Tyron. It's Tyler Smith, who missed the game yesterday with the torn plantar fascia. He tells the Cowboys he's going to play. He don't give a shit what the trainers say. He wants to go. So, all things considered, if he wants to go, let him go. At least let him give it a chance. Because those two white boys they got that backed up, Zach Martin and Tyler Smith, they're okay. But this playoff thing's a different animal. We need Tyler Smith back in the room. Zach Martin missed the game because he's sick. Now, he'll play Sunday. He'll be over the flu. He doesn't have, like, the clap or anything. he should be healthy by Sunday night. There's like a flu bug that went around the organization this past week, and Zach caught it right. I mean, I got off the airplane, and Zach Martin went to bed in D.C. on Saturday night, woke up Sunday morning, and felt like dog crap and could not go. So Zach Martin should be back Sunday. Tyler Smith will probably be back Sunday. Stephon Gilmore vows he'll be back on Sunday. So, but all things considered, you can't ask for much better health than what they have going into this game. Are y'all worried about the kicker? The Effie? Of course. The kicker, who they found in the Canadian League, who's a soccer player by trade, who goes 35 for 35, decides to miss his only 2 kicks of the season on the last day of the regular season. Just to give us all flashbacks to Brett Maher. I still have post-traumatic syndrome disorder from last year when effing Brett Maher decided he couldn't make an extra point no more. At least, and look, the block was not Aubrey's fault. That was a shitty blocking by the offensive line. The block, that wasn't on Aubrey. Now, then he doinked the crossbar, or he doinked the goalpost, that's his first miss. But then he made the big one at the end. So that's good. At least he made it. Had he missed that third attempt, holy shit, I'd be worried. But I'm fine. I'm gonna pretend it didn't happen. I'm gonna assume Brandon Aubrey is absolutely just fine, because nothing will screw up a playoff game like a shitty kicker whose mind is gone. The craziest, most mental people in all of sports are kickers and goalies in hockey. A goalie in hockey may go 20 games in a row and give up 10 goals in 20 games. Then all of a sudden he gives up 5 goals out of 6 shots. It's incredible. And then he never catches it. When a goalie loses it mentally, the odds are he'll never find it. When a kicker loses it mentally, the odds are he'll never find it. So you always worry in the back of your mind about your kicker losing his mental shit at any time, especially later in the year, in December, into January, playoffs around the corner, and that's what happened last year with Maher after a Pro Bowl season. Shits the bed. And it was comical, and it was embarrassing, and it got to the point where in the playoff game in San Francisco, McCarthy couldn't even attempt the extra point. He had to go for 2. So let's just assume that that's not the case here with Brandon Aubrey, and all is well. All right, so we'll talk Packers some more as the week goes on. But I said this a second ago. I assume the Cowboys – well, I'm not going to assume anything. The Cowboys should win this game. I expect the Cowboys to win this game. I'm not guaranteeing it. And it wouldn't shock me in the least if the Cowboys don't win this game. A, we talking about the NFL, where everything and anything can and will happen.
What are we talking about?
We talking about the damn Cowboys, all right? And C, we talking about a Packers team here that has caught fire. The Green Bay Packers, they were terrible in the first month of the season. And I think they were like, actually, wasn't even the first month. They were like, 2-5? After 7 weeks, and they just had football herpes. I don't know if Jordan Love all of a sudden figured it out. Their coach Matt LaFleur figured it out. They took a bunch of Valtrex. I don't know what happened, but the Packers got good. So it's a Packers team that's rolling going into this game here. It's a Packers team that wound up going 9-8, but they won 7 of 10. They went 7-3 in the last 10 games. And it's a Packers team that's now won 3 games in a row. And it's a quarterback here in this kid Jordan Love, who took over this year finally after 3 years watching Aaron Rodgers or whatever it was. Jordan Love, have y'all seen what he's done in the last 8 games going into this playoff game with Dallas? In his last 8 games, Jordan Love has 18 touchdown passes, 1 interception. That's it. So a Cowboys defense that leads the league in turnovers up against a quarterback who's only thrown the ball away to the other team once in 2 months. It's going to be a hell of a game. And I expect the Cowboys to play well. I anticipate them winning the game, but I wouldn't bet a rent payment on it. Now, Green Bay's defense, they're okay. They're ripe for the picking. And as good as the Cowboys' offense has been at home, there ain't no excuses for the Cowboys' offense to not score at least 24, 25 more points in this game. If Green Bay wins, it's because they get hot and they outscore Dallas. That's my thought right here on Monday. Now, with all these opinions as we get closer, I reserve the right to change my mind. Thank you to Il Harley for the $2 donation. Appreciate you hard, homie. Sup, guys? Just took a big hit. Go Cowboys. Good morning.
You're smoking reefers?
El Harley lives in Arizona, too. That's mountain time, so he's waking and baking out there. They're an hour behind us. Shout out to Tex-Mex Frank, the head committee member of the 2024 Cooking for the Kids Mike Taylor Barbecue of 2K24. Tex-Mex Frank with a $9.99 donation. Thank you, dude. That's awesome. El Harley, tú sabes, hermano. Órale. Dak is playing pelotas out. Is it possible it took him a while to shake off the cobwebs from the Tony Romo cramp? Hashtag Dez caught revenge game. Oh, that's a good angle. I forgot about that. We got tons of angles here. Dak's first playoff game was against Green Bay, I think, against Mike McCarthy. McCarthy against his old team in a playoff game, and it's the first time. It's been. This is a chance for the Cowboys to avenge. Because they lost to the Packers when Dak was Dak's rookie year. They got beat by Aaron Rodgers, but back in the Romo days, y'all remember when Dez levitated. The only thing that would make this real revenge is if the Cowboys were able to go into Lambeau this week, right? So it's at Jerry World, but still, yeah, lots of cool talking points. Obviously, the Cowboys and the 49ers have such an illustrious history, but the Cowboys and Packers also have an ancient history that goes back 60 years. Some of the most classic games ever, including the Ice Bowl. So this is badass, man. It's cool. Those two logos, and Aikman and Favre, that rivalry in the 90s, the history of these two franchises playing each other in the postseason is badass. And so I'm hyped, man. It's going to be a fun week getting ready for it. Can't wait for it. And it comes down Sunday night, and we will have Cowboys Overreact presented by the law office of Orlando Kell from the Ringer on Sunday night around 6:30, 6:40, the Ringer Pub over on the northeast side at Jones Maltzberger and Thousand Oaks. All right, we got a national championship game tonight, which I'm also stoked for that. Do you have Bernard shout out LG? Load that thing up, and I'll go to it in a minute. It's pretty cool. I love when y'all I love getting the shout outs from all over the world. I sent it to you via DM. Told you this morning right before we went on the air. Did you forget?
No one told me.
No, bullshit. I told you about 10 minutes or 15 before we went on the air. Check your DMs. LG has decided, because he hates Elon Musk, he's boycotting Twitter, i.e. X. Check your DM. Let me know when it's ready. So we have a really good natty tonight, too. Ironically, for years, I have despised big Southern John Plantation country. I'm one of those people that does not have a team that he cares about. Well, I care about my Aggie buddies, but I don't live and die with what A&M does. But I've not cared for the SEC ever. And I know it's the best conference, blah, blah, blah. I just got tired of them. There for a while, it was like I was just hoping, can we just get one championship game that does not involve the freaking SEC? And then finally this year, I've come around on the SEC. Finally. Fine. With the Longhorns going there next year, yeah, I'm going to slowly let that knife sink in. Cool. We're an SEC show. I love TCU. I love UTSA. But y'all love Texas, and a lot of y'all love Texas A&M. And so it is what it is. I do a show in South Texas. We're going to have to start talking more fucking SEC. So I finally accept that fact. And what happens? We don't get an SEC team in the championship, which is fine. We got Michigan and that weird-ass Jim Harbaugh with that murder face and those pleated pants and those dorky glasses and all those cheating allegations that got him suspended twice this year for 3 games apiece. He's in the natty. against a UW team, a Washington Huskies team that was under the radar all year long because they play on the West Coast and all their games are at 10 o'clock at night. And all they did was whip the shit out of everybody they played, including Oregon twice, a Washington team that is really good. One of the reasons why Washington was so eager to jump to the Big Ten, of course, money and prestige and marketing, but Washington need some earlier kickoffs because they were under the radar. They have been forever because those West Coast teams, only the people on the West Coast watch them. We're all going to bed when they're kicking off. So it's a good Washington team, a damn good Washington team with the best player in America. Mike Big Penix's energy will lead Washington into this game tonight against a Michigan team that has had an us against the world mentality all the year because of the suspensions and the controversy and all that shit with the sign stealing and everything. And it should make for a damn good game. I think Michigan has a primo defense, outstanding coaching, but I don't trust Michigan's quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. He is a steady bus driver type, and I know Harbaugh called him the best quarterback in Michigan history, and that's fine. Certainly the most successful as far as winning and losing. But I don't trust McCarthy. And as awesome as Michigan's defense is, Washington's offense is rolling. And I thought that was a brilliant effort last week by Texas with a pretty shoddy secondary to play Washington as close as they did. Kalen DeBoer is an elite football coach. So that all being said, give me Washington to win this game in a thriller by like a field goal. So that's my pick. The Taylor Power Index says Washington 27, Michigan 24 in a thrilling game. We'll go down to the wire, and that's my pick. Give me Washington. All right, show brought to you by Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store of Thunderdome, the official liquor store of our show. They have 9 locations spread out all over the greater San Antonio, Tejas area. If you are in need of a kick-ass liquor store for beer, wine, tequila, vodka, rum, whiskey, they're your place. By the way, all their stores also have humidors. They got tons of great cigar options at all the Texas Cheer Liquors. Get your booty into one today if you need some. It's a great sports week. We got a national championship tonight. We got playoff football this weekend in the NFL. It's a great week for drinking. So if you need to get your drink on, it is Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store of us. All right. On to the Spurs. All I can say about
the shout out first, Holmes.
Yeah, all I can say about the Spurs is at least we got Wemby. And this is our boy Thunderdumber Bernard. He and his fiance are in Houston. They're at the this is at NRG, I think, where the game's going to be played tonight between Michigan and Washington. They're at like that fan experience, and of course, my boy goes out there and makes you skeptical of himself. This is Bernard the Thunderdumber with a Wemby shout out and a show shout out on Taylor Live.
Hey there, Mike Taylor from the national championship. Come on now, Wemby!
Very nice. That's a good effort. See how that we've now changed it since I said I was going to quit saying Spurs and just call them the Wembies. We've now changed "Come on now Spurs" to "Come on now Wemby." I agree with that. So you know what, Bernard, you've made show history. Get a highlight out here.
I think we got a drop there. Actually, that's a good.
Damn
drop.
sure. Good.
Yeah.
The only thing right now, although I don't want to poo-poo on Devin Vassell. I love Devin Vassell, and he's playing his ass off. But really, the only reason why anybody cares about San Antonio right now is that obelisk they've got there in the middle named Victor Wembanyama. And yesterday afternoon in Cleveland, the Wembies fall short in a brilliant comeback effort. Down 16 mid-fourth quarter, come all the way back down within a shot and have a chance to tie the damn thing at the end. Jeremy Sohan turnover. Not good. I love Jeremy Sohan. I like his game. I think he's a cool guy. That was a bad TL. That was a bad scene down the stretch last night. They shit the bed with an opportunity to tie the game. and the Spurs lose like, I don't know, what was it, like 117, 115 or something. And as Wemby was walking off the court, as he walked underneath the awning there, he was caught on camera letting out a giant animalistic like scream, just pissed. He's frustrated. I think it might have been a tad manlier than that, LG. I mean, he doesn't have the deepest voice, but I don't think it was that. However it sounded, I can picture his giant skinny body with that voice coming out. However it sounded, that is a frustrated young dude. A young dude who has bawled and even been better than I had hoped this point to the season. He is tired of losing, and they've gotten close the last two nights. They gave the Bucks hell. They gave the Cavaliers hell. Cleveland's a good team too. The organization now owes it to Victor Wembanyama to bring somebody else in right now. I'm not saying you do a blockbuster and trade for Chris Paul or nothing, but they need a veteran point guard to tandem with Trey Jones. And Trey Jones started yesterday. And Trey Jones started Friday night against Milwaukee. Now, they didn't win, but they were damn sure in the game all the way to the end. I'll be damned. Trey Jones gets to start, and you're competitive because he's got chemistry with Wemby and Vassell, and at least he keeps them competitive. They may not win the games, but at least they're not getting their balls blown off by 35 like they were for 6 weeks in a row. That stubborn coach, Greg Popovich, has got to stay with Trey Jones as the starter. He started Trey Friday because the kid from Ohio State's tweet. He started Trey Jones against last night because, was it Branham, Blake Wesley, all these fucking spare worker bees, they all look the same. Trey Jones is the only true point guard on this team. This bullshit about, we want him coming off the bench because he makes our bench competitive. I don't give a shit about the bench being competitive. You're 5-30. The starters were not competitive because they didn't have a point guard. One of the major reasons, one of the big problems with Wemby should be averaging 30 a game. He's been so awesome. But he's on a minutes restriction, which is part of the frustration, and he's got no true point guard unless Trey Jones is out there. And notice Trey Jones starts in the Milwaukee game, and they give the Bucks hell all the way to the end. He starts yesterday in Cleveland, and they give a solid Cavaliers team a game all the way to the end. It is time for the organization to mitigate their point guard problems. They're not going to go win 15 games in a row. I'm not even going to get – I don't know who they should go get. He may be a guy y'all never even heard of. He may not even be a starter, but they need somebody who, I don't know, has played point guard ever besides Trey Jones. You got a solid little backup rotational point guard here in Trey Jones who has chemistry. You need to go get another point guard. That way, no matter which one's on the floor, the thing doesn't bog down because they don't have a decent distributor. And that is on the organization. It is time for the I don't want to say it. It is time for the Purs with an S to do right by the point guard position and do right by Wemby. He's done losing. My God, that was my first game of the season Friday night. No, I take it back, second game. But we had good seats. We were behind the basket a couple of rows up at the corner of the Milwaukee bench. I got to tell you, man, it has been a long time since I have been in a game of any sport that I've had as good a time at. The seats helped, but the game helped. But it was my first time to get to see. It was the second time I got to see. I keep forgetting I saw Wemby earlier in the year. But we set up high. To see Wemby that close against Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of Wemby's heroes as a kid growing up, with Dame Lillard and the Lopez Mutants and Chris Middleton, the former Aggie, a Milwaukee team whose goal is to win the championship. To see that up close, as brilliant as that game was Friday night, it was such a treat. It was awesome. I want to thank a guy called Barry Burns, who works at Methodist Hospital, who also is one of the board members of San Antonio City Soccer. the former official soccer club of Thunderdome. He hooked us up with those seats. God knows I couldn't pay for them. And it was one of the best things I've ever seen. I thought that the Spurs were going to get scissor kicked in the back of the nads by the Bucks, and Wemby was just sensational with the Harlem Globetrotters feeding himself off the glass dunk. I mean, he alley-oops to himself. He's so ridiculous. The behind-the-back, in transition dunk. The guy, he can damn near dunk from the free throw line when he extends. It's just to see that unbelievable, unprecedented physical ability up close like that. You can't hyperbole that. And can you imagine what he'd be doing if he weren't on a frickin' minutes restriction? Unbelievable. And I don't use that word lightly a lot. I'm unbelievable as an overused word in sports. I've never seen anything like it, nor has Giannis. Giannis said after the game, I've never seen anything like it, because no one has, because there's never been anything like it, and it's awesome. And he's frustrated, and it is time to do right by that guy and get him some more help. All right. So I wore one of my favorite pieces of clothing. I actually just bought this the other day. I posted this on the air. Did we post this on the air? I think I posted it on Twitter the other day. Me buying that badass, that old school mustard yellow corduroy jacket of whatever that material is. Did you see that post I made last week, LG, when I bought that yellow coat?
No, but I've seen the coat.
Okay. I should send you this. Maybe we can run it tomorrow. So that coat I didn't know it would get that kind of run. I just thought it looked good with what I had on. It didn't occur to me that I'd get on TNT all night long. We were on TNT basically every time there was a free throw, and I realized, oh my God, this yellow jacket is sticking out. That thing, I looked like a lit candle down there. It was amazing. We've got, I think, 2 photos. There I am. Look how close we were. All right. That picture on the right, look how happy I am. See, that's me all excited. Look at Wemby's got murder face there. I don't know who that dude is with the photo bomb in the middle of us. There's my first ever selfie with Victor Wembanyama. All right. I caught a lot of shit for this one on the left. I was not asleep. Nina posted that. It's like, he sleeps everywhere. Okay. People are like, dude, there's 0.8 seconds. Look at the scoreboard. There's 0.8 seconds to play. It's a 2-bucket game, and you're crashed out. I was not asleep.
Well, I guess you just have to go wake him up now, won't you?
No, whoever took that pic, that's a still screen. That's a still shot from the television. Somebody was watching the game, obviously. That was me mid-blink. I'm not asleep there. I need to call bullshit on that.
Sure.
And of course, Nina has to go on there and perpetuate that bullshit narrative by tweeting it out. They caught me mid-blink. I'm not dozing off in the middle of the Spurs game, not with those seats anyway. But that gives you an idea of how close I was to Wemby in this game. And I've been to a lot of awesome stuff in my career. I have never been to anything that can touch that, man. That was phenomenal. Again, thank you to Barry, my boy, from Methodist Hospital System for the hookup. That was sensational. And the reason I wore the coat is because we had good seats and I wanted to look cool. And I didn't realize just how much that coat would stick out on TV. I think I have to wear that every time I go to a Purs with an S game. Every time I go see the Fighting Wemby's, henceforth, I got to be in yellow coat. George, you owe us a grito for picking the Giants to win the division and saying the Cowboys would finish third. Yeah, I did. All right, so I'll give predictions Thursday, right? Thursday's show for Fart Drop Thursday, I'll give my predictions for the NFL playoffs. But just take this with a brick of salt here. I'm the same guy. I picked the Giants to win the division. They did not. Although the Giants got hot late in the season. Beat the shit out of the Eagles last night. They did. That's the Giants team I thought I was getting. And I also picked the Cowboys to finish third in the division. Indeed, I did, and indeed, they did not. So, whatever. I mean, it's the NFL. I ain't embarrassed about them picks. Ain't nobody knows shit. Although, I was in a pool this year with like 20 people on picks. I finished second in the pool. Maybe we just all suck. All right, we'll end with a couple of housekeeping items today. It's NFL Bloodletting Day. I've seen Ron Rivera, my man, the Mexican coach. Unfortunately, we got another unemployed Mexicano. Ron Rivera has been fired in Washington. The GM's been fired too. Art Smith, the coach of the Falcons, he got shit canned last night.
Go on and get your fucking shine box.
Dave Tepper, the shitty owner of the Panthers, who last week was throwing drinks at people, dumbass, who appears to have sugar in his britches, has also told the Panthers GM this morning to go get his shine box. So we'll see who else gets shit canned between now and tomorrow's show. Playoffs are set. I'm hyped. We'll do official predictions Thursday, but right as I say, look, we talk about the NFL. It would not stun me if we had Rams and Browns. It wouldn't. I wouldn't. If we had a Browns-Rams Super Bowl, that would not shock me. I don't think so. I'll go official on Thursday. But as I sit here now, it's hard to come up with anything other than 49ers and Ravens in the Super Bowl. They're just clearing away the two best teams in the respective conferences. Dallas is the second best team in the NFC, I guess, if it's not Detroit. But you think the Cowboys are going to go into San Francisco and win? Shit. The Ravens are kicking everybody's ass. They didn't play anybody yesterday, so they don't count. Man, it's hard to think that it's going to be anybody but San Francisco and Baltimore in the Super Bowl. All right, couple of housekeeping items before we get out of here. 29 subscribers away from haircuts. Ringer Pub Sunday. So if you're looking for a place to go watch football with us on Sunday, come out to the Ringer, grab you a Miller High Life, and let's get after it. Watch the game. We're going to do Overreact Sunday at the Ringer. And we'll end with this. Did you get the other photo I sent you today, LG, of me? I'm going to make my debut on Bean and Cheese Me. A lot of y'all just assumed that I would be on Bean and Cheese Me all the time. That woman ain't never asked me. I've been with her 2 years almost. Finally, this week, they started shooting their new season. Bean and Cheese Me with Nina and Sam. Their season starts January 24th, and we did a shoot over the weekend. Well, they did, and I just dropped her off. I didn't think, and then I got invited in, and then lo and behold, I think I'm going to make a cameo. There's a photo from the shoot Saturday morning. That is me. I am posing as Nina's boss. That's all I will tell you in that. So I don't want to give away the theme or anything. That's me as her boss there. I play John, the middle-aged boss man with old man glasses, and look at that gray hair. See, that's why we got to get the subscribers to 3,000, man, so I can go get all that gray shaved off my head. The longer my hair gets, the more the gray is just really prominent and out there. We got to fix that shit, Rich. I need a haircut, all right? So I need y'all to subscribe. It is free. Subscribe to this show. We're 29 away from 3,000. I can go get my mullet, and I look like a champion from Fort Worth again. But right now, I look like a middle-aged baby boomer with all this gray coming in and all this long-ass hair. That's it. We're done. Thank you, Thunderdome. Please subscribe to this damn show. We need to get our haircut. I already lined up the barber and everything. We're ready to go. Thank you to Thunderdome. Thank you to DJ LG. We be done. Back in here tomorrow for Ass Whip Tuesday at 10 a.m. for the live chatters. Love you hard. See you in here mañana. Subscribe, damn it.
Come back, you puppy!
Mike Taylor Live is presented by Texas Cheer Liquor.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again.